Hello everyone, this is Ananda, and this is a continuation of my series just discussing and proposing that humans are not just physical. We're not just our physical bodies. Yes, there's energy as well, and we have energetic bodies around us. So let me ask you, have you ever felt someone watching you, perhaps, and they weren't right in front of you? Perhaps they were watching you from behind or from the sides, and you could feel something. And when you turn around, you can see someone's looking at you. And and have you found that perhaps you started thinking about a family member and the need to call them, and then you found that they were thinking about you at the same time as well. So this isn't really nothing to do with the physical, is it? Because they're not there in front of you, it's around you. Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is that your consciousness as well is not just here, it's your whole being, your whole body, and it extends as well. So that's kind of why we can feel it when people are looking at us. If we have a strong connection to a person, like someone from the family, sometimes we can pick up what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and sometimes we kind of pick up if they're really happy or they're really, really sad, or they feel really rotten. Okay, so and another thing is, have you ever found that you pick up, you know that someone's going to call, and immediately your phone rings, and you might even know who it is who's ringing, and this is without any text sent or without any notification prior to that. So that again is your consciousness, and some people will call it sixth sense or intuition. But how does that work if the person is not here, or you can't see them, you can't hear them without any equipment whatsoever? So this discussion about being more than our physical bodies, it may not find you too sort of skeptical about it. But I suppose going further into it, there is Kirlian photography, which shows that we have got fields. It generally shows fields of light around us. And there was a particular modality, I can't remember, and I'll try and find it again. And the scientists were very interested to work with this lady who was teaching a healing modality. And they had special equipment which you would put your fingers into, like little sleeves. And they would measure the amount of light. They had this somehow equipment which could sense light coming out from the tips of the fingers and around the fingers. And so they took before the session and after the session pictures to see what the effect was on the level of light in the receiver's fingers, both hands. And it did show that there was either more light, so there was increased light emission, or if there was lack of light in certain fingers, there would be more light, and there would be more balanced between the fingers as well. So it wasn't all perhaps, up and down and jagged. It would be much, much more uniform. So I think those tests were done in Germany. And nowadays it has been found that Reiki is suggested by quite a few doctors, that it runs really well for people when they're very ill, perhaps if they've had cancer, had to do chemotherapy or radiography treatment, all the treatments. And the Reiki treatment really helps the people to get better faster. It works alongside the allopathic treatment. It's complementary, it doesn't disrupt it, and it helps the people actually recover much, much faster. So how do we explain all this? Because Reiki doesn't have to be given hands-on. It can be given distance. You can send it halfway across the world. So those are questions that are really good to have a look at when we start exploring our consciousness, our energy, and what we really are. And we're definitely more than just the physical, than the material. And then we can extend this questioning to everything around us, to nature, to our animal companions, our pets perhaps, yeah, to the house, to our cars, to our favorite objects. Now, can they absorb energy and can they emit energy, especially the immobile things like the objects? Because we know that animals all run around, and although trees don't run around, they do keep growing. You can see that they are continuing to grow year after year, and they follow the cycles of nature wherever you live. So I'm trying to remember what the point. Yeah, so we can extend this thinking because it doesn't just start and stop with us. I would question people who say we're really special, we're the supreme race on this planet, because we haven't actually existed here for very long. There have been other creatures and dinosaurs who were here much longer than we were, and they were very successful. And sharks have been around for a very long time. There's such an old species. Cockroaches as well, can you imagine? So it just begs the question that if we're able to accommodate the idea or the proposition that we're not just physical matter, but that we are also energetic, well, what about everything else around us? Because we aren't living here as islands. We walk on the earth, we build our buildings, we live off the earth, we eat vegetables, and we eat animals which have been fed off the land. So where does that put them? So the reason I created this series of videos is really to just get us questioning stuff. And tomorrow what I'd like to do is just create a short video helping us to just extend our consciousness, project our consciousness, start feeling into the space around us, start getting to know ourselves energetically a bit better. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. It's lovely and sunny here in London. I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow, but it's really gorgeous, and life is good. So, and I really hope that you really experience that as well, that life is good and that everything is here for you and for you to share, and that there's enough and abundance for everyone. Bye for now.